What is the true ownership cost of the RAV4 versus the Tesla Model Y, and which is cheaper in a 5 and 10-year comparison? I'm Jonathan Stewart, and welcome to Cleanerwatt. So currently the best-selling SUV on the market is the Toyota RAV4. Elon Musk has stated several times that he expects the Model Y to outsell the Model 3, Model S, and Model X combined, so it should also be a good seller once it's available in the next month or so. So the first thing we need to do is figure out the actual energy cost and fuel cost for these 5 and 10-year periods for each one of these vehicles. The EPA's website does not yet list the 2020 Model Y, but we do know that it gets an EPA-rated 315-mile range with the same size battery pack as the long-range Model 3, so therefore if we take this 2019 Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive, which has a range of 310 miles, I believe those numbers are close enough, even though the Model Y is technically going to be 1.6% more efficient. I think to make it easy, we'll just stick with the same numbers as the Tesla Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive, because that 1.6% is not going to make a big difference in the numbers. So for this comparison, we'll use 29 kilowatt hours per 100 miles for the Model Y, and we'll use the 40 miles per gallon for the RAV4 hybrid. For this example, I chose to use the most efficient RAV4 hybrid. For this example, I chose the XLE hybrid, which is pretty close spec to spec, feature to feature. When I actually searched dealer inventory in my area, I found this particular XLE white RAV4 hybrid for $33,539. That's the price we'll use for this comparison. Now let's take a look at the purchase price for the Tesla Model Y. Without adding any extra features with the stock wheels, you can get this vehicle for $52,990. When you add the $1,200 destination and document fee, that gives you a total of $54,190 for the Tesla Model Y long-range all-wheel drive. So here at the beginning, you see, based on purchase price alone, there's a $20,651 price difference. Currently, electric vehicles are more expensive at the time of purchase, but can the lower cost of operation make up this $20,000 difference? Let's take a look at the 5 and 10-year true cost of ownership for these two vehicles. So first of all, we'll take a look at the Tesla Model Y long-range all-wheel drive. We're doing a 5-year comparison, 12,000 miles per year, or a total of 60,000 miles, and we're assuming the national average of 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So when you purchase the vehicle, you'll pay $4,064.25 in sales tax. Your energy cost, assuming the 12 cents per kilowatt hour as we mentioned, and also that efficiency of 29 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, will come out to about $2,088. Based on some of the quotes for insurance I've received, I'm assuming about $7,200 in this 5-year period for insurance, or $1,440 per year. The financing cost at 3.9% interest, according to bankrate.com, would be $5,543. So the 5-year cost of maintenance for a Model Y should come in somewhere around $1,800. That's including a fresh set of tires sometime in the 60,000 miles, as well as the 25,000 mile service. You'll have to have 2 of those appointments at $425 each. You shouldn't really need to make any major repairs, as this would be covered under warranty during this period, but I did put $500 just to cover any small things that might appear. When taking a look at depreciation, obviously it's a little bit of a guessing game on this particular example, since the Model Y is not officially out yet. But if once again, like we did when we compared the Model 3 to the Camry, if we look at the past data for the Model S and the Model X, and we compare that with that same data that we had from Autolist.com, we see that somewhere around 60,000 miles, we can probably assume around a 34% depreciation. Obviously, that could be less, and I don't assume it to be more, but we'll just go with that number for now, since that's the data I have, and I see that during this 5-year period, I am assuming that the Model 3 will have depreciated $18,424, which is 34% of the original purchase price. This gives us a total true cost in 5 years of ownership of $39,619.25, or 66 cents per mile. Now let's look at the same thing for the Toyota RAV4 hybrid. So sales tax, when you purchase the vehicle, would be right around $2,515. The fuel for these 5 years should come in somewhere around $3,900. Insurance should be about $6,000 for this 5 years. If you finance this vehicle at 3.9% interest, you would come in right around $3,431. Maintenance for this 5-year period for the RAV4 hybrid should come in somewhere near $2,500. That would include a 30,000 and 60,000 mile service, oil changes, tires, brakes, and other fluid changes. Once again, like the Model Y, there shouldn't need to be a lot of repairs done in this period, but I did put down $600 just to cover any incidentals that might come up during this period of time. So in order to figure out the depreciation number for the RAV4, I went to kellybluebook.com, kbb.com, and I pulled up the value of a 2015 RAV4 XLE. And according to KBB, the private party resale value of that vehicle is somewhere around $15,126. The original MSRP of this vehicle would have been somewhere around $26,640. So if you do the basic math on that, that's about a 43% depreciation. So you should see somewhere around $14,421 of depreciation during this period. So therefore, the 5-year cost of the RAV4 hybrid is $33,368.20, or around 56 cents per mile. So in 5 years, it is less expensive to drive the RAV4 than the Model Y. Now let's look at 10 years. So let's take a look at the 10-year cost for the Tesla Model Y and see if we can make up the difference in 10 years. The sales tax and financing cost stay fixed past the 5 years because sales tax is only at the time of purchase, and the financing cost is only accrued during the 5-year loan period that I use to calculate these numbers. So once again, for the Model Y, to figure out depreciation, I use the Autolist data. This chart only goes to 100,000 miles, but if you go to 80,000 miles to 100,000 miles, you see that there's a 7% difference. If you add that 7% difference to the 100,000 mile mark at 50% depreciation, that puts you at 57%. And if you add a few extra points just to make the estimate more accurate, that's how I came up with that particular 60% depreciation. So when you add all these same calculations up for 120,000 miles of driving, you come to a total of $66,197.25, or 55 cents per mile for the ownership of the Tesla Model Y. For the Toyota RAV4 hybrid, once you add all these things up once again, then you come out to $56,382.17, or 47 cents per mile for the 10-year cost of ownership. So once again, to get the depreciation numbers for the RAV4, I went to kbb.com and I pulled up the private party resale value of a 2010 RAV4 Sport, and I looked it up versus the actual MSRP, and I figured out that somewhere around a 66% depreciation should happen in that 10-year period. So in 10 years, the RAV4 is still a less expensive vehicle to operate, coming in right at 47 cents per mile versus the Tesla Model Y at about 55 cents per mile. So once again, here's what that difference looks like in a side-by-side comparison. In the true 5 and 10-year cost, the Model Y will cost you about an additional $6,251 in a 5-year period and $9,815 in a 10-year period. When it comes to the actual cost per mile, it's 10 cents more per mile for the 5-year period to run the Model Y and 8 cents more per mile to run the Model Y during the 10-year period. So the lower running cost of the Tesla Model Y were not able to make up the $20,651 difference. If you're looking at economic reasons only, the RAV4 seems like the best vehicle. But I believe there are many other reasons why you still would purchase the Model Y over the RAV4. So the Tesla Model Y should get somewhere around 116 mile per gallon equivalent, whereas the RAV4 will have a 40 miles per gallon average. An electric vehicle obviously puts out no air pollution and no greenhouse gases. Even if an electric car is charged on a grid powered by coal, it's still going to produce less pollution than an equivalent gas-burning vehicle. That once again, that's because the efficiency is so much better for an electric car. The Tesla Model Y, in my opinion, being an electric vehicle, will have a better driving experience. No more waiting at gas stations, but your car can be charged at night while you sleep. There are no stinky fumes while running the vehicle, and while you're driving the vehicle, it's much quieter and much more peaceful. There are also some unknowns about future legislation that might make gas-burning vehicles somewhat obsolete, where you would have no market for resale. This is happening already for diesel vehicles in many parts of Europe. And another thing that you can't beat is, of course, the energy independence that comes from driving an electric vehicle. If you put solar panels on your roof, you're able to create your own energy and drive on sunshine. So in conclusion, based on economics alone, the RAV4 hybrid is a little less expensive. But when you compare all the other benefits of driving an electric vehicle, and specifically a Tesla, I believe the Model Y is a great choice and it will sell really well. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things as well. If you liked the video, please consider clicking the like button so other people can find the video as well. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing so you'll know when future content is put out. And if you do subscribe, if you click the bell icon, you'll actually be notified when new content is published. Thank you so much.